All right, we're on the corner of Hill and 5th Street in downtown Los Angeles. And we're right across the street from Pershing Square. And it has gone through several iterations. The most dramatic one was in the 1950s. So by looking at the rendering, I can already tell there's nothing going to be done with this portion of the park. It also confirms that there is going to be virtually no change in the environment here. This is the 5th Street side. There's a bus lane. There's clearly a transit-oriented place. Hey, buddy. The problem is that these ramps here stink, and I'm really sad to see that they're gonna hang around for a while. When you walk past here, you have to turn your head around, and that entrance ramp right there, hey. I've been standing here for a few minutes, and of course, no cars are gonna come in. But trust me, if you're not paying attention, it's really easy for someone to try to take your life. Yeah, there's a lot of buses that go down 5th Street. This area right here, that is the stage area when they do concerts. This is going to remain virtually identical. I don't think there's going to be any changes that are done to this part right here. It is kind of odd. It's not a place that you want to hang out in. And that's kind of by design. The architect came from a concept that made you feel safe by being in an enclosed area. The thing that gets me is, like, here's the ramp, the exit ramp, one of the exit ramps, and look at all this wasted space. I mean, the plants are green and they're decently taken care of, but there's no way to get in there for one. So the park is just riddled with little pockets that probably translate into many acres, precious acres. So the rendering shows all this basically remaining the same. Even this triangle is going to be there. I don't know why. But again, more wasted space. I mean, the giant succulents are pretty cool, don't get me wrong. But it's like, we're not even really supposed to be walking around in here. But there's about another quarter acre of nothingness. And then it leads to this plaza over here. So now so this is the first part of construction. This area is in the rendering too. It looks like they're going to rip this up. So this is usually the general admission standing area for concerts in the summertime, and in the wintertime, this is where the ice skating rink is. So it's grass like 10% of the year. So the summer's concerts have put an end to this. So the next thing that's going to happen is this is going to turn into a glass elevator bank to access the underground parking. I'm not going to go downstairs today because I have other videos that have explored that area. But it is a dungeon, and I presume that the glass elevators are going to be just like what's being used on the regional connector, which is fine. And these are orange trees, and they smell amazing in the springtime. So those are kind of cool, but this area is where it gets really drab. So let me show you this, which used to be a fountain. So this is emulating the reservoirs, and this is emulating the aqueducts that bring the water to here from far distances away. And that is the source of the water. So snow-capped mountains, aqueduct, and water to the people. So whether or not the symbolism was effective, there did used to be a water feature here, even as recently as, I want to say, 9 years ago. So it was really disappointing to see that this feature, which is silly, is going to hang around. So we're coming up on 6th Street here. So there's pretty much zero connection to 6th Street as it is. And again, sadly, it looks like it's going to stay pretty much exactly the same because those pesky parking lot ramps. So now we're facing Olive Street, and there's the beautiful, stately, and historical Biltmore Hotel.
Go check out your car. It's beautiful. My car, where is it? It's outside. Shit. Greg, God damn it! You bet! I'm gonna get you!
The Biltmore, when it was built, prided itself on its urban oasis that was across the street. But as things started to decline in the area, they moved their front desk area to Grand Avenue. So unfortunately, the first wave of the redevelopment of this park is going to do nothing to these terrible ramps. So when you cross the street from the hotel to go into the park, the first thing you're met with is a gauntlet. So that's the escalators down to the parking garage. The escalators are inoperable. They've been broken for years. So it will be nice. This whole little structure, shelter, whatever it is going to go bye-bye for translucent elevators. And I assume that this wall will be removed. So minor, very modest, the smallest upgrade that you can possibly get is the removal of these unnecessary barriers and open it up a little bit. So Olive Street has a bus lane. And this is the driveway. The problem with this driveway is that people tend to come flying down that street, and so if they're rushing to catch a light before it turns red, they're oftentimes speeding. So it's pretty much the most inhospitable environment you can have for people. As you can see, there's people with disabilities, slow-moving people. And it's kind of unfair that to enter this park, you have to go through this gauntlet. So the result is the people entering the parking garage from the freeway, they just got off the freeway, they're flooring it to make all the green lights, and the last thing they're thinking about is these pedestrians, which are conveniently blocked by these palm trees. So there's nothing to indicate that the pedestrian is a priority here. Some people might not even know that this is a a ramp that goes down into the parking garage. But this is scary. Look at this blocks. Look at, hello, I'm a pedestrian. Can you see me? No. It is incredibly dangerous. I'm serious. I've almost been hit on this crosswalk, whatever you call it. It's not even a crosswalk. There's no paint on the ground. There's no signs, no pedestrians, no nothing. Just that stupid parking obelisk thing. But yeah, I'm really upset. This is bullshit. This park is absolute bullshit here. It's so unsafe for pedestrians. So this area apparently is going to stay the same. This is the area that's really going to get a little upgrade, if you call it that. But this is the first round, so I'm not even like mad. I'm mad about like how the city's run and stuff, but that's a different topic. But I would like to know how much revenue this garage brings in, because there's several hundred, if not thousands of cars that come in here a day, paying $20. So there's a lot of money happening here, so I don't understand how that works, but it's a little upsetting. This playground was added here probably about 10 years ago. So all this purple stuff is going bye-bye, thank goodness. This area is gonna stay about the same. Look at 6th Street over there. You wanna go 6th Street, too bad. So hopefully they fix that in further updates. But this is actually like the only part of the park I kind of like. I'm not gonna lie, it does turn into a little bit of a heroin den at certain times. So it's not a place that I particularly like to hang out in personally. But it is in the shade. Pretty much serves its purpose. But again, that purple wall, if the purple wall wasn't there, it would be much better. But look at all that wasted space. That is non-traversable park space. So getting rid of this wall will be absolutely fabulous here. I'm all for that. And hopefully they'll do something to connect the Hill Street section into the park. It is actually possible to walk to the street from here, but it's not really supposed to be that way. So this is absolutely wasted space right here. I'm sure they could do some cool stairs, because the way it is right now just isn't all that useful. That purple wall is going to be great to have gone though. And I've saved the best for last. The park will be patrolled by these 1990s era LAPD squad cars. But the best part is the removal of this ramp, apparently. So there's going to be this wasted space over here. And with the removal of this ramp, it's actually going to add quite a bit of real estate onto the park. And this is actually a problematic section. There's the current elevator, which is just deplorable. And this is the side entrance. That's another entrance to the parking garage right there. So this whole monstrosity thing is gonna go bye-bye, replaced by glass elevators. And this ramp. So this is the, let's see, it's the exit onto Hill Street. The parking part doesn't really bother me that much, because I know that you can always work around that. There's plenty of things that have parking underneath it. And if it's a revenue generator for the city, then I get it. That's kind of like the way we live. We want nice things, and if we got to pay for it. But I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong if you know better, but I think the money goes to recreation and parks. So if that is what's happening here, that parking revenue is going to recreation and parks, and that's a good thing. But I don't know. So if you do know, please tell me. So there we go. That's the whole, this is the eastern side of Pershing Square. And very cool that I have that rendering because I could pretty much walk past it, do a comparison. So while the upgrades are very underwhelming and hopefully will be part of a concerted effort to step up the improvements as we head towards the Olympics. So with that ramp gone, that wall's going to be gone, and finally there'll be some connection to the street, which I'm absolutely in favor of. So that's Pershing Square, and that is walk around upgrades coming soon. Shouldn't take too long, hopefully. So I will more than likely have some future videos where I give my wish list. I do think it's a wonderful concert venue, but it's got to make up its mind if it's a concert venue or a park. Because right now it's kind of neither. And the biggest takeaway is Metro Rail is directly across the street. So interesting thing about the Metro, it's under this street. So quite literally, you could jackhammer through the wall of the subway right there and into the park. But I know that there's a lot of social design issues around that right now. We don't build, for some reason we're not able to pursue worthwhile projects because of fears of homelessness and who's going to do this and that. But clearly in the future something will work its way out. It'll either get worse or it will get better. I think it will get better. So check out my channel. I got videos around the neighborhood. Not you, dude. Oh, I'm with you 100%, dude. All right, enough of that. I'm gonna get myself killed.
Sell it and get the fuck out of here. Eric, this is not for you. This is a terrible neighborhood. Didn't I get myself robbed and beat up here? You know, you see this hotel, this is the Biltmore, right?
Right.
You know when I played here?
When?
In 1951, they had what you call tea time shows.
Oh yeah, in the ballroom.
And in that ballroom, yeah. I was there for about 6 months working, making good money. Eric, I hate the motherfucker, and I hope he goes down. But he's too smart. He's not going to get caught doing anything. They can talk all they want. And what is this guy doing? Oh,
It's the whole shebang. It's going
you
on.
don't know what the fuck he's doing. And there's a guy in front of him that does this. It must be too. For the price of
Don't
one.
say that. Yeah, no, it's a line of people getting on the freeway.
Right. Well, who knows?
I don't blame the
Place. Well, that guy got out from behind this prick, and this prick's another prick.
He's another prick for sure. I need to get out of this lane.
They can't drive. Look at this asshole.
Well, it's different, and plus I drive a stick
He
shift,
doesn't know shit from Shinola. Everybody's cutting in front of him, in the back of him, everything.
I don't know.
Get away from that prick.
What an asshole.
Is that him right up there?
No, see, there's just too many cars in a line. It's not his fault.
What?
There's too many cars in a line. It's not him. It's all the cars in front of him.
Oh, well, I thought it was him.
No.